Hello everybody, my name is Kosif and welcome to the other stream, this stream. Today with me on the stream I have Colton.
Hello.
And I have Lindsay.
Hey,
And for the stream it's a different area or I guess kingdom, although I don't really think this is a kingdom. Actually I think it is, but it owns to the monkey colony, which is Apatol and all that stuff. But anyways, as you can see, and by the title, it is Brimhaven, so we are now sort of moving our way onto the jungle. Hello everybody, my name is God, and welcome to the I forgot to mute my bloody YouTube audio again. Sorry about that. But anyways, we're moving on to the jungle, so that includes places like Brimhaven and the Karamanjar jungle. Currently, the only place we have built, and we've had it built for ages, and that is what you'd originally called Karamanjar, but in RuneScape it's called Musa Point, where it's the volcano, the banana platoon, and all that stuff, you know, the place where you charter the ship. And that is the actual area where you built, isn't it, Colton? I forgot which area it was you built. Was it like your third area you built or something?
Which one?
Karamanjar.
Second.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a lot later than that.
Nope.
But yeah, this is Brimhaven. Let me just give you. Obviously, there's nothing to look at the moment, so let me just give you a quick overview of what we're working with this stream, and hopefully it'll be on other streams because I can't imagine me building Brimhaven in one go. Right, so as you can see, I've already sort of like lined out the island. Well, not island, but like the landscape. It's to scale, so it's the same size in RuneScapes, but obviously all I need to do now is just put down all the detail of where stuff goes and all that stuff. Over here where I am highlighting is where Brimhaven, like the buildings would be, and the rest is like the jungle. So yeah, that's what we're working with, and I'm probably going to be only focusing on the buildings and sort of like getting everything down. I'm not going to be worrying too much on the detail of the landscape, so like maybe not like working on the grass and trees so far, but yeah, that's what we're doing today. And for the sort of like first topic, Colton, do you want to jump into the server because it's relatively new news?
Alright, so I had an upgrade from the previous server. The previous server specs were really shitty. They were actually my old PC, and I got new parts for it the other day, and now the server runs on that one. So I have a link. I'll send it to you in Skype so you can link it in chat. Some visual aids and stuff.
Okay, cheers. I'll link that now. Here we go. So I've tested the server for myself. Well, for myself. I say it's relatively more stable than what it was before. I don't know if it happened with you too, Linz. I think it was stable for you. But before you answer that, the server for me, I would randomly start jumping around and, it would be very laggy at all. It would just, be very laggy pretty much. How was it for you, Linz, your first time logging on the server?
well, the one time I logged onto it for like 20 minutes, it was fine, but that could have just been that much.
Yeah. Because I know with the other people like Tristan and Jeremiah, it's random pretty much. Sometimes it works perfectly for them, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm from the UK, so for me, for it to work for me is good news because the server's based in America, and because Colton's in America, I would say it's pretty stable even for me. So that's good news for anybody else who's like in the UK or anywhere else in the world, to be honest. Right now in the project, well not project, tool set, I'm just sort of laying out the buildings. Now this building would be a major part in the gameplay, I guess. Well, not gameplay, but the server. It is the Black Hand Gangs, I think it's called, Black Arm Gangs. If I forget the name from, I think it was the Black Arm Gang. But yeah, this is the Black Arm Gang's HQ. The building is a relatively an odd shape. Like it's shaped as like a digital 7, but a weird shape pretty much. It's like a U or an N if you look at it. So, to be honest, it's, for example, let me give you a sort of like an outline of what's going on with it. You look at it. So, you know, we got it goes up straight like this building, but then there's like a random corner turning off, and then it goes down a bit. So it's like it goes up, left, then down. So what I'm probably gonna do is not actually. Yes, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking of just leaving it like that, but then I would need to add some sort of detail. Yeah, I know what I do. I'm gonna add like, it's not gonna be a building wise, but it's gonna be some sort of I'm gonna try and keep the shape of the, you know, like the U shape of it or the N shape. So I'm gonna add a fence there, like that. Actually, I'll keep the same height. So I'm gonna add a fence there, and I'm gonna make it go down. So like you have to run around like you do in RuneScape pretty much. But it's just a fence, and I'll add some sort of like bushes, so you know, bushes around the iron fence, so it doesn't look so bad, pretty much. And let me get out of the building. So this is the start of Brimhaven, pretty much. To be honest, Brimhaven's not well. Actually, Brimhaven's a really odd laid out place. It has no use really in RuneScape apart from when you're doing quests, and like the only quests you do here is like the Lost Tribe, and I think the Lost Tribe, and no, not Lost Tribe. There's a quest you do here, and I forget, but also the Heroes Guild because it involves the Black Arm Gang and the Phoenix Gang. So now on to you, Lindsay, because there's something I want to do. So you are new to the team, correct?
Yep.
And like I normally do with people, well, what I try to do, I've already explained this to you, but for the viewers, what I like to do is sort of like do an interview with you, if that's okay with you.
Yep.
So first question I'd be how did you sort of like know about Molior RS?
Well, we've only been friends for like, what, 5 years?
Yeah.
And I've only heard you mention it like a million times, so...
I was expecting that answer, but I had to ask it anyway. So did you sort of like what was your first impressions of it?
To be honest, it's, give me a minute.
No problem. I'm trying to make the agility hut here.
I find it really interesting that immediately when I log onto the servers, it looks different, but on the same level, I know exactly where I'm going when I log on.
Oh yeah, the first place you logged in was Lumbridge?
Yeah.
So what was your impressions of Lumbridge?
I thought it looked a lot... I don't want to say better, because RuneScape has its unique qualities that I like about it.
Yeah.
But it looked more medieval, I think. RuneScape looks like a modern medieval, I guess. More cartoony medieval. looks more like a modern day game.
Yeah, I would, to be honest, say the same. Where you said it looked cartoony. I think everything in RuneScape looks really too bright and cheerful, whereas in Neverwinter Nights 2, it's very realistic, as in, the graphics aren't realistic like it's, freaking year 2020 graphics, but it's nice, as in everything's not bright in your face, and well, that's my opinion on it. So you also went to places. Well, you went from Lumbridge to Varrock, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, you gotta go through. Let's say you gotta go through like transitions and yeah, like transitions. How did you feel like the journey from going one area to another was like? When you were heading to Varrock, did it feel like you were actually heading to Varrock?
And this concept, I don't like the game as much because of the loading screens. I don't like transitioning. Whereas RuneScape, when you walk from Lumbridge to Varrock, you don't have any kind of loading screen, except for maybe like a lag or something.
Yeah.
So I don't really like that concept because I don't know. It just makes walking from Lumbridge to Varrock seem
Longer.
not longer, but less realistic, I guess.
Yeah. Might always sort of like, I won't say regret because it's not in my control, but my one thing I don't like about Neverwinter Nights 2 is its like limitations, pretty much. Although the type of game it is, it's from like 2008 and it's a 32-bit game. You can't sort of like not have loading screens because RuneScape has loading screens, but loading times. They aren't like loading screens that are official, but they are like hidden, especially like over time. They've became less obvious. But if you played in like 2008, right?
Yeah.
Like 2004, like 2008, you're going into a new area because PCs weren't like what they are today. You would end up getting like a black box in the corner of your screen saying "loading, please wait." Whereas, like I said, over time they've sort of like reduced that time, and they said with the new client, the NX client or the HTML client, whichever it is, they said that that's gonna be completely removed, so loading's gonna be streamless pretty much.
And it's not like a major downfall for the game. I can live with it, and just saying I don't really care for it.
It's trying to think of a good word for it. It's good in somewhat way, and because over time, say if I load into Varrock and then I go into a shop, those loading times are going to be like long, but well, not really long. Like I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds. But then when I leave that shop, because I literally just loaded into Varrock, it'll be a lot shorter. So it's a pain, but it's something which pretty much needs to be done, which is again, like I said, a pain. But it is what it is, and yeah. So apart from like the loading times and the landscape, I know you haven't played much of the server, but how did the controls and like, because in RuneScape you're top down, you're looking like above your character, and everything seems like small, say like trees. How did it feel like to be looking up at stuff? You can even see the sky and all that stuff. How did that feel?
That felt like any other MMO I've ever played. RuneScape is like literally the only top-down game I've ever played.
Well, consider it's based off RuneScape. Do you think it's like bad because you can see like the sky in like say Lumbridge or?
No, I don't think it's bad because that's one thing I could like discredit to RuneScape, because like I don't think I should be able to see at the top of the tree that easily.
Yeah.
because and we're like we were talking about it when
Yeah, I
we were
remember
messing
that.
around on the project. Uh, the my character on RuneScape is not that much shorter than the tree is. The tree should be like 4 times as big as
Yeah.
me, when really it's only like 2 or 3 times.
But then I guess that's sort of RuneScape has to do that, like I'm in RuneScape now. I'm looking at because I'm basing what I'm building right now, Brimhaven in RuneScape, blah blah blah. I'm in Brimhaven at the moment. There's trees which are exact same shape as me, but then there's these really big palm trees which like 3 times as big as my RuneScape character, or maybe like 4 times, but they only have like 5 leaves on them. Whereas like an actual tree, it would be really massive with a ton of leaves on it. But I guess because RuneScape's a top-down game, they can't have so much stuff cluttering your character. Like even
Yeah.
if you can see objects underneath, like right now because these trees are high up in the sky, when I sort of like look underneath, they have no texture or design underneath them, so they turn invisible pretty much. So that's sort of
Or like when I'm doing divination right now on RuneScape and talking, and I can with these pine trees I can literally see the trunk inside the
yeah.
leaves. So
But do you think it changes the landscapes? For example, Lumbridge. When you first entered Lumbridge, in RuneScape, for example, you see an oak tree and it's just like this average-sized tree. It's not massive. But then, when you went in Lumbridge, you see these oak trees which are like really huge and they create these massive shadows which blocks the sun. Do you think it changes the landscape much, or do you think it improves it
yeah,
or
I do.
degrades it?
I think it improves it honestly, because to me, when a game looks more realistic, that improves it by a lot.
Yeah.
Because in RuneScape they have shadows, but they don't really do anything. They're just there. And well, that's my opinion, but yeah.
So, like I've already said this, so I'm gonna say it again. I know you haven't played much of the server, but what's the favorite? Well, maybe not favorite. I don't want to sound so egotistic, but what's? I'm gonna say 2 things. What's the worst thing you're going to be looking? Well, what's the worst thing you would want to see in the server? But then, what's the favorite thing you'd like to do in the server?
I like skilling, so I guess skilling would be probably my favorite thing to do on the server, depending on how y'all do it and what skills y'all decide to release and things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about all that. My least favorite thing would probably be questing still. I still don't like questing.
Really? Even in
Yep.
Neverwinter Nights? Well, in Molior RS.
Even in Molior RS, I do not like questing.
Questing sucks.
Ah, not you two,
Thank
Colton.
Colton.
Questing is good. You guys don't know
No,
much.
it's awful.
Nah.
I
Although,
hate questing.
to be honest, questing in Molior RS, it can get very. I'm trying to think. Very long. It took me like 30 minutes to do. What was the quest? It was a very simple quest, and oh yeah, that was
Restless
it.
Ghost, Coach Assistant.
Vampire Slayer. It took me like no. It was actually longer. It took me like an hour or 2 to do Prince Ali Rescue, because journeying in my RS is quite long and all that stuff. You gotta travel a lot of places, and running back and forth is long, pretty much. So that took me 2 hours. So I can't imagine, really big quests. What about you, Colin? I think I've already asked this to you in previous streams, but just to get like an update, what would be your favorite? Say like the server's up, it's I don't know, members land, well, not members lands, but free to play is fully complete. What would be your favorite thing to do?
Exploring.
What would you like to explore? Like you could say walking around Falador, and then yeah, that's explored, but
Probably the new places that we've added,
all right.
new expanded content.
Yeah, I get what you sort of like mean by that. For me, if I was to explore, I would just love to see, you know, places like Intrana or Xanaris, especially Xanaris, because, well, for example, say if somebody new who's to a project, you know, I haven't really watched any of the old videos. I just play the server. To me, I would have loved to see how, no, say if I'm a player and you're the developer, Colin, I would love to see how you would have built Xanaris. And I think that would be one of my main goals, is to get into Xanaris and just see how it was done, because, you know, you've seen places like Varrock and Falador and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, what would you, well, for both of you, what would you say would be the most, I'd say, excluding Xanaris, so I'll use Xanaris as an example. So, you know, you got Xanaris, it's like this fairyland with massive trees, and it's on a different world, so, you know, the sky's weird and the whole place is like with a tint of blue. What would you say would be the next, I don't know, exotic, odd-looking place you'd want to see in Molior RS from RuneScape?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Um. Repeat your question, and I'll
Okay,
think of something awesome.
I'll try answer it for me then. Well, of course there's Xanaris, for example. So let's say I would love to see how Elf City would be built in Molior RS. So something you think would be like, which is like strange in RuneScape, but is we need to build it in Molior RS pretty much.
I would like to see. I'm not sure if you're gonna make this a skill or a mini game, but engineering, because I think RuneScape has a good concept of engineering, but I would like to see it where it's not top down.
Aha. Now you
So
can
you
actually
can actually see the details in the rooms and everything.
you can actually see that, because when I built Demonheim, I made a frozen floor and I did a gameplay of it. And I don't want to give a spoiler, but I may as well say it. It sucked. Trying to traverse around these boxed rooms with, you know, stuff in it. It was very annoying, to say the least. You know, in my personal opinion, it wasn't fun just exploring these boxed rooms which looked the same and had not much detail. And it took me freaking ages to detail, because there's so many boxed rooms. And imagine like a large dungeon, for example. There's like, I don't know, 30 boxed rooms or something, and you gotta detail every single one by hand.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to see dungeoneering.
Okay, with being said, do you think there's anything we could do as a team to improve that?
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. Now this is my personal opinion on dungeoneering. Well, we've actually mentioned this before. I would have liked to have had sailing as dungeoneering. Part of the Eastern Lands, which Colton was building, you know, we've got all these islands. It would be nice to include dungeoneering into that somehow, but obviously not dungeoneering. So, like, for example, look at the dungeoneering rewards, you know. So let's say a coal bag, which stores more coal, which would obviously be useful because, you know, you can't always carry stuff in Molior RS. So let's say I go to this island in the Eastern Lands and I kill this pirate leader, and there's a chance for him to drop a coal bag. I would like to see that, you know. And then, like, say, really, really far in the deep end of the Eastern Lands, which would take ages to get to, there's this high-level boss which drops, like, chaotic weapons, for example. That's what I would like to have seen. Does that make sense?
What about you do that as sailing, but you do for dungeoneering a more traditional, like, raid, I don't want to say raid because they have
Yeah.
raids on RuneScape, but like a like you would see on like WoW or any other MMO you would play,
Yeah. Um.
where you go into a dungeon, well, like
Yeah.
a dungeon type thing and kill things. That way you're not in just box rooms.
Um.
It might make it a little more interesting.
That was my original intention. This was obviously before we thought of like the Eastern Lands and sailing and all that. My original intentions was to make dungeoneering. Well, originally it was to make the same as RuneScape with like the boxed rooms and all that. But after I made the first one, it didn't really work so well. So my original intentions then was to make it like actual dungeons, like well not really dungeons but like caves. So you explore this one cave. There's like this I don't know that we would have to make it custom, maybe on Demonheim. There's this cave, and then when you go in it, it's just like a cave system. There's tunnels.
Or you could well were you what were y'all's thoughts about making it a mini game versus a skill, or were y'all planning on making it a skill still?
I don't like it as a skill. It doesn't.
Yeah, me too.
It should have never been a skill. It doesn't make any sense as a skill.
Okay, so well, let's say we have caves and um why don't y'all incorporate the various levels like melee and mage and range and different skill levels and go deeper into the cave as they go.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. So like, say on Demonheim, I would still like it to sort of like be I know like Demonheim. I know maybe something like a random place where I don't know. Let's say we had it like sinkholes. There's this random cave entrance which randomly spawns, and you go up to this cave entrance. It's like, oh, hey, you need like this level of dungeoneering or something. Although like me and Colin just said, we don't like it as a skill. I'd be curious to see like if how that would have worked if we did have it as a skill. But let's say if we kept it on Demonheim, and like the point I was getting at was you enter this like the cave entrance on Demonheim. It's not like this ruined fortress and then everything's like a dungeon. Let's say it's a cave, and the first cave is like, I don't know, icy because it's on top of the surface, well, slightly on top of the surface, it's close to the surface. And then you enter this cave, and then at the end of the cave, it's like loads of tunnels and all that stuff, and then you find this door, like, or entrance, which leads to the next dungeon, or cave entrance, it's like cave after cave after cave. I would honestly love it, so you would have to be really hardcore about it. For example, let's say let's say us three are a team in the server and we're doing dungeoneering. Let's say we get to floor 30 and we can't really teleport out. We would have to go back through every single dungeon to sort of like get out of the place. And for example, say if we cleared 30 caves or dungeons, whatever, and then we got out. If we wanted to go on to like floor 31 or something, we would have to we would have to start from floor 1 pretty much. What do you think about that?
I like that. That's an interesting concept because it adds more of a challenge to dungeoneering.
Yeah, like say if the highest floor, the highest cave or I don't know whatever was like floor 60. To get to that, you would have to continuously go from like 1 to 59 to get to there, and it's slowly gonna drain your your potions or food and all that stuff. And it's gonna be a real challenge because let's say we had it so like the floor 60 boss drops chaotic weapons, but the chances like I don't know, rare. We aren't. Say we go on to floor 6. Well, say if we had it like RuneScape where you can just repeat a floor. So we go on to floor 60, kill the boss, leave. Go on to floor 60, kill it, then leave. Like over and over again.
Yeah.
So pretty much farming it, I
Yeah.
think if we were ever to add chaotics, like a level, like pretty much the highest level weapon, it would honestly be like, it would be hard to get, you know. If you look,
Yeah, because
I would like
you'd
it.
have to
Sorry,
repeat that floor.
yeah, I would love it to see like seeing somebody where the chaotic means they've gone through all that trouble and hard work, not somebody who's just repeated a floor over and over again.
Yeah, it eliminates the concept of farming for things.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my opinion on it, but I don't know. I think that would be a cool concept. What do you think, Colin?
Yeah, I like that.
But that's dungeoneering. But I think we've always spoken about dungeoneering. Um, although dungeoneering is an odd topic, I'd say. Like you said, Colin, it shouldn't really be a skill, which I agree with. um, Talking on topic of the tool set, one of the annoying things is trying to get buildings to look the same with only having limitations. So, for example, this is the Brimhaven Agility Arena. Now, in RuneScape, it's like this thatched hut. So obviously, I can't. There's no thatched huts in Neverwinter Nights 2. So what I did was I got a fence and I pretty much rechanged the size to get this like wooden pallet walls. Which looks very ghetto, but again, you can see through it and you can walk through it, so it's like no loading screens. And then you got like this clothed roof, which looks very odd, but trust me, it looks better in game once you load into these things, because it just looks different in game when you got the shadows, and the graphics are a lot better, pretty much. But yeah, at the moment I'm trying to get this as like an inn here with a pirate's inn. It's got like it's like that, but with like darker wood. So I'm wondering what I could use. But it's an inn, but the walls are made out of wood. So I'm just curious what I can use. Actually, I might know. But then again, with the roof, God, roofs are a pain. I think I know what to do. I'm just going with the merchant's house. Yeah. Talking on the server wise, when do you see an estimate of it being complete, Colin?
Probably within, I don't know, maybe a month or two.
We've got quite a lot of work to do still. Like well, a lot of work, to be honest. We've got skills, quests, balancing combat pretty much, and that's the main three I would say at the moment, to get like the game playable. But then after that we've got like a lot of other stuff. There's a few additional content I'd like to add. But server wise, it's going good. I have completed the updating of the range armors. So, well, when I say that, I'm currently updating like the armors in general, because they had no stats. So I'm working on that. Colton, you are working on UI, correct?
Yes.
How's that going for you?
Decently. I'm about halfway there.
That's good. This building is way too big. What am I gonna do? I know what I'll do. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna make the inn an interior. It's going to be an exterior, so when you enter Brimhaven, you can walk straight into the pub. Well, inn, whatever you'd want to call it. I think it's a pub, because there's no beds for it to be an inn. What is this one? Nope, wrong one. And for you, Linz, you are sort of like getting a grasp of the toolset, correct?
I'm learning how to do quests right now.
Yeah. Do you find it
Um,
easy or fun or terrible?
During this tutorial, I'll say it's probably the most boring thing I've ever done on this stupid toolset. On this toolset, I'm sorry.
You have to
It's just,
apologize.
it's awful. But I think once I get to actually starting to do quests and not having to follow very specific directions,
Yeah.
then I'll start liking it more. It's just, I don't like the tutorial at all.
I feel the same, so don't worry. I finally figured out how to get the, well, not figured out, but I'm making this house with, like I did with uh, the hut for the Brimhaven agility course. I'm just making it with 2D walls, pretty much. Which is, which should be fun because it eliminates the point of loading screens. So, for the, let's say, project in general, what would be the most thing you'd like to help on with the project, Linz? Because you're new, you know.
Something more challenging than the interior and exterior, because those are kind of like slowly depleting my brain cells.
Yeah, they're easy to do. Do you think you'd ever want to do, say, like, create a boss?
I'd be fine with that. Anything besides.
What boss would be your favorite one to build from RuneScape?
Next.
Really?
Yeah, Next is my favorite boss in RuneScape, so.
That would be Next would be very. I know it would be actually possible because Next does a lot of like she does a lot of state phases. Like
Yeah.
I would imagine that's doable in the toolset. So it should be interesting to see, especially because we would literally have to model our own Next because unless we make an oversized chicken, there's no model like Next. And a chicken literally is the only relatively close thing to a bird demon. Though that would be hilarious to see,
A giant chicken.
yeah, running around a frozen prison, shouting, I demand a blood sacrifice.
I don't think that's Zarus though.
We should do something like that for, I don't know, like, I was gonna say trick or treat. We should do something like that for,
Halloween.
yeah, or, April Fools. Turn NPCs into chickens. That would be obviously be doable, but that'd be hilarious. So, I know you've said you worked on interiors, so do you want to sort of like talk about what you've helped already with?
I did some random farmhouses, and I did Folly Castle for the interiors.
And I think I already got your opinion on them, but how did you think you did? Like, did you think it was easy work or hard work, or was it boring or fun?
It was boring as hell.
You also did Yanil, because that's an exterior.
Yes, but you said interiors.
Oh, true. Because Yanil is an exterior, how did it compare to, an interior?
It wasn't that much different. But Yanel is sort of a small town, so I think because the space was so small. It kind of reminded me of an interior,
Yeah.
but I think doing a bigger city would be more of a challenge.
What would
It just,
be
you know, is so small.
what would be the biggest challenge you think you would be able to do?
I don't know.
Um, I
Right now,
guess.
questing's proving to be a big challenge.
Oh yeah, questing. That's one of the things. Even I found questing to be hard, but I guess I'm new to it as well. You know, I've only tried to do 2 quests so far. Okay, this wall is 13 long. God, I hate measuring stuff in RuneScape.
Aaron, when you're doing quests, do you remember the storyline, or do you have to look it up?
Um,
If so, what website do you use to like go by the storyline?
um, every storyline I know, to be honest. But to be honest, sometimes I'm trying to think of which. I've made a lot of quests. I would say something like, I don't know. There hasn't really been a quest. I'm trying to think. I guess something like actually, yeah, Pirate's Treasure. I would just had to have remind myself because, for example, you know, if there was like, I don't know, say you talk to a pirate and then he gives you a key. I would have had to remind myself, like, okay, he gives you a key, but then you go automatically, because originally I thought, like, okay, I've dug up the treasure, well, he's given me, this key, do I go dig up the treasure? That was my first intentions, but, really, you had to go to the Blue Moon Inn to open a chest to get, like, sort of like, a riddle to know where it was. Obviously, you know, it's buried in, the, Falador Park. But, I use the wiki, but what I used to do with quests was I went on the wiki's transcript, which has like literally every dialogue of the quest. So all I did was copy and paste it into conversation boxes. Originally, because I used to watch guide videos on YouTube on like quests for Dragon Slayer. When we first made Dragon Slayer, I was watching somebody do a quest guide, and I literally had to kept pausing the video so I can sort of like, okay, he's Ned's saying these lines, so I literally had to split screen and copy the text over from word to word, which was very, very, very annoying as it sounds. And but yeah, luckily I found like the transcript, and literally all I did was just copy the text over.
Because I honestly, I want to say my brother did Dragon Slayer for me at the time we were both playing. Shut up. At the time we were both playing, and he did it for me.
So you've always hated quests ever since you were young?
Yep.
But quests should be fun, like I've said.
So I don't know. I don't even think I know Dragon Slayer's storyline.
Really?
Like I said, my brother did it for me.
You're missing out on so much lore.
I hate lore. RuneScape lore sucks.
I cannot agree on that. It's very planned out, but there's a lot of plot holes, pretty much.
I just find it really bland, and there's no motivation for me to want to do another quest to find out what's going on in the next
So you're
storyline.
You're one of those people who only do it for rewards.
Yep.
Yeah, same here.
Ah, Colin, you disappoint me.
I hate questing.
I don't care if you hate it or not. I'm disappointed in you.
No games but RuneScape. They have terrible quests. I think it's the way that it's just point and click all the time.
But to be honest, compare it to a lot of MMOs. A lot of MMOs is fetch quests, you know? Like,
Yeah.
hey, can you kill this for me? Hey, can you do that for me? RuneScape, it's not like that. Every quest has, you know, it has, I don't know, I want to say detail, but a lot of quests don't. It's just like, a lot of quests have a purpose and a story behind them, pretty much. Even if the lore isn't, you know, top notch, it still has a story and stuff behind it. Whereas you're not just helping some random person you've never met before, you know, collecting some random stuff. Which, like I said, a lot of MMOs do.
I'll give RuneScape that. Most of their quests do have a point, or the quest will later have a point as continuous.
Yeah.
But then there's random quests like, I don't know, Cook's Assistant. I know that's a newbie quest, but it doesn't have a point.
Yeah. Keeping on topic with quests, maybe asked this question already, but what would be the worst quest you'd want to see in Neverwinter Nights 2? Well, Molior RS.
Questing's a necessary evil, so I won't say any quest, but that's what I would like to say. But I won't.
What about you, Colton, as well? Well, you can think of one.
Didn't we do this last time?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of
I
stuff to say.
I was there because I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I remember now because I couldn't think of anything to say for my hated quest. Yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, that got me thinking
I think it was
because
the Firemaker's Curse. That one quest you had to fight that really annoying boss Char.
oh yeah, sorry.
I thought that was kind of pointless. I mean, I know Char has a part in the storyline later on in the game, but I just thought it was kind of pointless because it was really annoying and you really didn't get any good rewards from it.
I'd say the most annoying quest to make would be although it's my favorite quest, it would probably be something like while Gothic sleeps would be the most annoyingest one to make. Because there's just so much stuff, you know. I just think making that so like in the tool set would be insanely hard. But my progress on Brimhaven, talking on topic now, it's going extremely slow. I've met too many buildings which need to be randomly custom made, which is turning out to be annoying if I don't say so.
It looks annoying.
Yes, the stupid Pirates Inn. Trying to make it like I'm gonna have to retexture these roofs, but for now they're staying as they are. But yeah, that is the shut up. That is the inn or the pub. I'm not so fond of the look, but it is what it is. And when I add detail like to the ground, grass, and you know, add like pirate flags on the walls, it'll look nice. Because there's just like a lot of junk outside the pub. But yeah, time to move on to the other buildings. Now this is the.
You have a hole in your ceiling.
Oh, do I? Where? Oh, I guess. I'll ignore that for now. I'm gonna.
Slacker.
I'll get to it at some point. I want to work on this building over here. These buildings are the same as these buildings, so it's going to be maybe a lot of copy and pasting, but I need to make it so it doesn't look like they're all the exact same buildings. And to do that, I need to hopefully put a building in a building, which is a very fine speciality of mine. If I put that there, as you can see, they are now... Holy crap, that looks good. They look like different buildings now from the ones over there, slightly. Now, this building is actually quite big, so I need to get the size of it from RuneScape, so give me a second. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so it's 9 squares long, so I need to see how big that is. Okay, so I can make it at least roughly the same, well, not the same size, but you get the idea, I hope. How did you find, oh, you said it was easy, right? Building Gielinor.
Yeah, but like I said, it's such a small confined space. I mean, compared to the other cities, it's really small.
Yeah. And let me zoom out. So that's 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, that's roughly the same size as the building. Now that looks weird. But I like the entrance. It looks nice. But right now I need to position this so it's close to the agility course, but then it's on the corner of this, so it's like roughly there. Yes, I think. Yes, that is actually really... Yeah, it's there. Now I need to add some buildings onto the end of it, because it's a very bloody big place. Especially this one building, it's very tall. It's got a building attached to a building attached to a building. So, let me go up the stairs. Okay, so it's got a stone edge, so I know what to do. I'd say, because you're, I don't know, relatively new still, Linz, how well, not really impressed, but what's your opinion on Neverwinter Nights 2? So, ignoring our project, what's your opinion on Neverwinter Nights 2, the actual game?
I hate the limitations.
What would the limitations be for you?
Like, what I found the most annoying about the interiors is that if you didn't... It looked awkward a lot. It just, I don't... Especially like staircases and stuff.
Oh, yes, but the staircases have, there's a few mods out there which sort of like fix that issue, but yeah, the official, you know, it's not so good.
And I don't know, just actually adding little details, it's just annoying as hell. And I don't like the limitations, but I do think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well,
considering the game was made in 2008. So.
Yeah. On the topic of limitations, you can literally see me now in the toolset putting buildings on buildings.
Yeah.
So you got to a lot of the time you got to work around these limitations and go custom pretty much.
I mean, I understand, but
yeah.
as far as um, I think I'll like it better once I get used to it.
Yeah, I'd say because you really haven't played much of the server, I guess. It'd be nice to get you more involved in that.
Oh, by the way, your Halloween event since the
Oh
thing
yeah.
is canceled. Was it canceled or?
Oh no
since
no
the
no, it's not cancelled.
server's not working.
Oh, the server's up now. It's up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was skeptical on that event because we needed it for server pretty much, but that should be fun because it's going to be a special event, hopefully for the developers only. But you know, if there's any players on at the time or people who has Neverwinter Nights 2 and they want to join, then they can go nuts and join us. I'd like that, but yeah, it would give you a great opportunity to sort of test. Let's just say test for combat. So that would
Okay.
that'd be actually good. I need to work on that soon as well. But I'd say, I don't know. Do you think it plays like RuneScape? Because again, you're new. I'm trying to get all the questions out of you because you're new.
Like I said, I've been
Oh,
on there
yeah,
like 20
true.
minutes, so I can't really tell you if the combat system's the same or stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it'd just be one of those things you need to test more. Well, not test, you know, but get involved. These buildings looks like a bloody abomination. I always say that though, whenever I'm making well not objects, but making buildings in Neverwinter Nights 2. You should see tably there's like a house made of like 20 houses. And that's like one house just made out of 20 houses. They always look bad in the toolset, so like right now you could say all these buildings look terrible. But you know, once I've added the trees, the grass, the terrain, and once you get in game, you literally do not notice this at all, which is something which is funny to see because, like I said, you don't see all of the detail. But what do you think of Brimhaven at the moment?
Honestly, on the toolset, it looks pretty awful.
That's exactly what I was saying, so thank you for being blunt.
I don't know about in game, but I don't like it at all. And I think those crossed over those roofs are obnoxious.
Yeah, I hate them too, but I guess I could make them, you know, roofless, but then say if it rains, it'll be raining inside the pub. But I guess we could add some sort of like...
They don't have like any kind of like straw texture you can add to it.
Yeah, there is. I guess there is one thing. I'll have to look into it after this stream, of course. But yeah, that's all I can deal with at the moment. I'm trying to find a fence for this. But yeah, for jungle itself, me and you actually spoke about this, Linz. We like it to actually be like an actual proper jungle, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, let's say the trees are really tall and the grass is like up to your knees or something, or you know, up to your waist, and it's
Or
very
you can actually get lost in the jungle.
yeah.
Whereas RuneScape, there's not much to getting back.
What do you feel about that, Colin? About making Karamanjar, well not, yeah, Karamanjar more of a jungle.
It's pretty much a jungle already, right? I mean,
Well,
tall
yeah,
grass, palm trees, tons of stuff in it.
but let me show you a picture. I'll post it on the stream so everybody else can see it. And it's also the place where I'm building, so you can see where I'm building.
Okay.
Wait for it to load. Okay, so... Whoops, didn't mean to click on that one. That is what I'm building. I'll also post it on Skype. So that's where I am in RuneScape, you know. Do you see the small trees? They're literally the same height as my character. Whereas then you got the really tall trees. But then in RuneScape, their shadows... It's like the sun is always setting, you know. The shadows are always on a slant. But in, you know, Neverwinter Nights 2 in general, you got the day and night settings, and the shadows are a lot more better, as well as the trees are a lot more, you know, bigger and more broadish, if you could say. Making it a jungle would be cool. Well, like a proper jungle. But yeah, at the moment that's where I am working.
What we're saying, I think, is with Kurajima jungle, it's not much of a jungle. You can still like see everything.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good woodland place. We don't really have any places where you can get lost, but for example, one of the places I recently built was the Tree Gnome Maze. Now your characters, with the hedges are like taller than your characters, so you would actually get, and you can't click on the mini map, so you can't just, you know, automatically run to where you gotta go. You have to manually navigate yourself through the maze. So I honestly, I would like to make something like a challenge where it's like, I don't know, all of us in the server in the Tree Gnome Maze, and the first person to sort of like make it to the actual Tree Gnome village wins. So that would be really fun to see, because you can't see like over the, you can see over the hedges, but you can't sort of like automatically click to get there, you know.
Yeah.
So actually traversing and trying to make your way through the maze would be fun. But taking that aspect into say like the I don't know, the jungle, you can't really see the mini map because it's filled with hedges. Well, not hedges, filled with like trees and large bushes. So all you've got to go off is, you know, your own sight. So if you see like, I don't know, Shiloh Village, you gotta somehow get to it. You can't just like click on it and then your character's automatically running to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'd say that's a really good aspect with this as well, because it's something I'd always like to, you know, add. Where, you know, your character's just, you gotta rely on your character pretty much.
Mhm.
But, that's pretty much the jungle. What about, let's say, to be honest, there isn't really any snowy places. Let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a snowy place. Is there any snowy places on RuneScape? You know, there's like a good chunk of land which is snow. There isn't really many places. Well, excluding the custom wilderness, you know, we made the far end of the wilderness snowy, excluding that bit, of course, but there isn't really any snowy areas, which is a shame in my opinion, because it'd be nice to get like the alternative version, say like we were just talking about the jungle. It'd be nice if there was like a blizzard going on and you could barely see what's going on.
Well, remember the ice sheet plan that I had?
Where was that?
Above the Fremenic Isles, a big sheet of ice that you could
Oh
walk
yeah,
on and stuff.
oh yeah. Oh, there is one place I have in the project. It's the it was part of the Rune Mysteries quest. It was I'm trying to think. It's Artreon something. It's like the it's in RuneScape, but you can't get to it. It's like the very far snowy lands where the Penguins HQ is supposedly supposed to be. I have that, but it's like a blizzardy area there, but you know that's custom made. That's like a small portion of the land. But yeah, I know which bit you're on about. I guess we could always make like Archeon, you know, like an actual big continent, which would be fun to do in my opinion, because it's a shame there's no snow places. That's a cool environment I would like to see in RuneScape itself, as well as our project. I want to get this bit done here, then I'll probably end the stream there because we've been talking a lot. I'm trying to find the appropriate house for this. It's a random house as well. It's very jungly. Like Brimhaven seems very rural, and this house is very random. So I'll add that there. Yeah, there we go. How do? And that is... God damn, it's not appropriate. Anything you guys want to talk about before we end?
No.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, then I guess I am about to put down this fence, and then this bit of land is done, or area is done. Well, obviously not Brimhaven in total, but you get the idea. Paste that, and paste that. Okay, so there we go. That is a good portion of Brimhaven done. What's your both opinions? Does it look like excluding the design of the buildings, because it is just a clusterfuck at the moment. Do you think it looks like Brimhaven, like the layout? You got the Black Arm gangs here. You got the agility course here. You've got the pub here, and then you got more houses here, and then you got the pub here. Yeah, honestly I'm going to delete those roofs. I'm going to forwall the pub so it has no roof, so you can just run into it pretty much. What's your opinions on it? What do you think so far?
10 out of 10. Idea.
What do you think, Linz?
It is what it is.
Also a funny, do you know when you built Karamanjar, Colin?
Yeah.
I remember touring it, and you built like Brimhaven, but very dodgy on the outskirts. I always imagined us randomly going to Brimhaven at some point, but you know, this was like when we only had like, I don't know, 20 areas built in the project. But now it feels really weird we're actually building Brimhaven, and we've got to that stage with like a server hosting and all that stuff. But I'm going to save it there. Well, that is it for the stream, I guess. Next stream, hopefully we'll have more topics to talk about. But this is Brimhaven. I guess I've got the boring bit out of the way of, I'm getting most of the buildings. There's not many buildings left to do, I've got to build like a dock over here, and then some random odd buildings over there. But yeah, this is a good portion of Brimhaven built so far, so thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being here, Linz and Colton. So, bye.
Bye.